Hello, GW political junkies, and welcome to this week's episode of Colonial Crossfire. On Tuesday, President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris revealed the first members of their cabinet, announcing key national security and foreign policy appointees. This just one day after the General Services Administration ascertained the election results, formally naming Biden the winner of the race, sparking the official start to the transition process. To set the scene, Article 2 of the Constitution states that presidents can nominate members of their cabinet, and with the advice and consent of the Senate, or basically majority vote, they're approved. So far, the president-elect has tapped several highly qualified individuals for crucial posts of very diverse backgrounds and stories. Let's take a closer look at some of those folks. First up is Antony Blinken, who, if confirmed, will serve as Secretary of State. He's not a stranger to the post. He served as the Deputy Secretary of State during the Obama administration, where he helped in the fight against ISIS. Before that, he served in the State Department under President Clinton. Blinken has advised the president-elect on foreign policy since 2002. Joining Blinken is Alejandro Mayorkas, who was tapped to be the next Secretary of Homeland Security. If confirmed, Mayorkas, born in Cuba, will make history as the first immigrant and Latino to lead DHS. And like Blinken, he's not new to his post. Mayorkas served as Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security during the Obama years, and it was during that time that he worked extensively on the development and implementation of DACA and led the department's response to the Ebola and Zika viruses, areas he will most likely be revisiting in a Biden administration. For Director of National Intelligence, Biden is posed to break another barrier with his nomination of Avril Haines. If confirmed, Haines will be the first ever woman DNI. Another Obama alum, she previously served as Deputy National Security Advisor. Haines isn't new to being the first woman in power in government, though. In 2013, she became the first woman to serve as Deputy Director of the CIA. At Tuesday's event, Haines brought a different tone to the DNI post, one that contrasts starkly with President Trump's current DNI, loyalist John Ratcliffe. Take a listen.
Mr. President-elect, you know that I have never shied away from speaking truth to power, and that will be my charge as Director of National Intelligence.
Next up, the Biden-Harris administration tapped Linda Thomas Greenfield to serve as U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. Greenfield is well-versed in public diplomacy. She served 35 years in the Foreign Service, working on 4 continents. She also served in the Obama administration as the Assistant Secretary for the Bureau of African Affairs. For National Security Advisor, Biden decided on Jake Sullivan, another familiar face. Sullivan served as National Security Advisor to Biden during the Obama administration and was then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's Deputy Chief of Staff. Sullivan helped facilitate key policy initiatives, including the Iran nuclear deal and the ceasefire in Gaza in 2012. And finally, to round up the appointments made on Tuesday is an experienced Washington insider taking on a brand new role. Biden tapped former senator, presidential candidate, and most recently Secretary of State John Kerry to be the first ever special presidential envoy for climate, underscoring the importance he will place on the environment during his administration. Kerry signed the Paris Climate Agreement on behalf of the United States in 2015, and after his time as Secretary of State, he launched an organization aimed at reaching net zero carbon in the U.S. by 2050. And while that rounds out the cabinet appointments made by the president-elect on Tuesday, there's one more crucial post we want to mention. It's actually the first position that Biden filled, Chief of Staff. 2 weeks ago, Biden tapped Ron Klain to serve as White House Chief of Staff. Klain is a longtime Biden ally. He first worked for him in the 1980s when Biden was Delaware Senator, then followed him to the White House, serving as Chief of Staff when he was Vice President. But arguably, one of Klain's strongest qualifications is his experience managing public health crises. In 2014, President Obama named Klain as Ebola czar, where he led the administration's response to the illness. Already, the president-elect's cabinet is shaping up to be one filled with career politicians, diplomats, and longtime Biden allies. But with several more picks to go, Biden will have to grapple with pleasing the moderate wing of the Democratic Party, progressive folks, and even some Republicans, as they may be needed to hit majority confirmation, depending on how those 2 Georgia runoff races shake out. But regardless, it'll be very interesting to see who else Biden taps for key roles as we inch closer to Inauguration Day, which, for those of you keeping count, is in just 52 days. So with that, we'll wrap up this week's episode of Colonial Crossfire. Be sure to check us out online at www.gw-tv.com and follow us on Twitter and Instagram and like us on Facebook. And a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving to you, your families, and your loved ones. 2020 has been anything but ideal for a number of reasons. But this holiday season, try to remember the things that you are thankful for. I know I have a ton. And with that, for all of us here at GWTV, I'm Mychael Schnell. Thanks for getting caught in the crossfire with us. We'll see you right back here next time.